our course professor, Dr. Lyoid C. Hunahunan. Sir, good day. By the way, let me introduce myself. I am Samantha Joyce A, Acebido, 23 years young, living at San Salvador Prosperidad, Agusan del Sur. Currently, I am in my second semester at Surigao del Sur State University, taking up Master of Arts in English Language Teaching. So before we proceed, please share and follow my channel. And today, I'm going to share to you my takeaways or my learnings and the 6 topics that we have covered in the course IC 204. So first, we have the phrases or expressions for journal paper writing. And we all know that the academic community can be so conservative when it comes to journal paper writing styles. But your writing shouldn't be so boring that people may lose interest along the way or just through the first paragraph or even for the abstract. So given that the competition is an all-time high for academics looking to publish their papers, we should know that you must not be anxious about what you can do to improve your writing skills in the scientific papers. So to be sure, your research must be sound, your paper must be structured logically, and the different manuscript sections must contain the appropriate information only. So in order to achieve that, first you have to analyze vocabulary words using word clouds. Second, you have to study language patterns of similarly published works. So by studying the language pattern found in the most downloaded and cited articles published by your target journal, you'll understand the journal editorial's preferences that will help you write in a style that appeals to the publication's readership. Third, use more active and precise verbs. So, have you heard of synonyms? Of course, you have, but you have looked beyond single word replacements and rephrase entire clauses with stronger, more vivid ones. So, you'll find this task easier to do if you use some active and precise verbs. So, even if you keep your original sentence structure, you can eliminate the weak verbs like be from your draft and choose more vivid and precise action words. Okay, so say for example, if you try to write this paper study and it has become the more it appears, the more boring it becomes. So instead of using the phrase this paper study, this paper investigate, try to use this paper tries to demonstrate, this paper tries to show, just like that. And also, to express the purpose of a paper research, you can simply say this paper, aside from saying study, this paper aims to, this paper tries to, this paper tries to look at, just like that. Now, we have chosen journals for publication. So we all know that getting a research paper published can be a challenge. It's even more challenging when considering the risk of rejection that comes from submitting a paper to a journal that's not the right fit. So, we must remember that first, it adheres to the principles of research integrity and publication ethics. Second one, identify journals that follow best practices promoted by professionals, scholarly publishing organizations. And lastly, what you should bear in mind is that avoid publishing in journals that do not have a clearly stated and rigorous peer review process. So with that, first, we have the scientific rigor. A key indicator of journal quality is the scientific rigor of the publications published in the journal. Second, we have the editorial quality. So editorial quality noted in publications including editorials that can provide clues as to journal quality. So we have here the misspellings, the grammar, and the punctuation errors or lack of clarity and cohesiveness in writing is indicative of lack of editorial oversight and reviewer commitment. So we must be very careful in choosing what publication we must publish our journals to. Next, the peer review process, one thing that is very important is the transparency as to the peer review process. That is a benchmark of journal quality. So a reputable journal will fully disclose the peer review process, including the criteria you used for peer review, the selection of reviewers, the type of peer review that is utilized, the time frames for the peer review, and how the peer review process handled by the editorial board. So that's how important the peer review process when you published a scientific paper in such a publication journals. Next, the most important thing as well, we have the ethics. So one thing that makes your journal a quality journal is that it will include the information as to issues such as plagiarisms, conflicts of interest, internal review board approval, informed consent, human and animal subject research, confidentiality, fraud, and etc. So for this, a journal should include information as to ethics on the journal website, what either the expectation are of the authors and how they address these issues. So when also when you try to choose a publication, when choosing the right publication for your journal, also bear in mind the editorial board members. So this is very important, the people behind this process or this review. So a review of the journal editorial board can reveal valuable insights as to the quality of the journal as well. So that is very important. Third, we have the steps to publishing a scientific journal. So first, you are going to perform the research work. That is the very element of publishing a scientific journal. Next, do not rush to submit your article for publication, because the more you rush it, there is a greater possibility that more errors are found in your work. Next, select an ideal journal that fits. Next, submit manuscript. Read the aims and scope and the author's guidelines. Next, make a good impression first with your title and abstract, because diba, when writing an abstract and the title, there are also different guidelines set to that. Next, have a professional editing firm that copy edit your manuscript. Also, submit a cover letter with the manuscript. Next, peer review. And last one, address reviewer comments carefully. So this highlights the comment or feedback of your manuscript. So you're guided by the comments, by the feedback of the peer review process. The next, after you finish editing, then that time comes when you are ready to publish your scientific journal. We have the writing of the first chapter. So writing the chapter 1 of thesis is very challenging because a good introduction is essential in attracting interested readers. So chapter 1 starts with a couple of short introductory paragraphs. So the main aim of the chapter 1 is to get the reader turned on with your paper. So it sets the stage for thesis in order to put the research topic on the go. So also, chapter 1 oftentimes consists of general statements about the demand for the research. So we have here the introduction, background of the study, statement of the problem, objectives of the research, research questions, proposed research methodology, scope of the research, significance, and the limitation of the research. For the writing of the third chapter of thesis, here we have the research methodology and the research methods that you are going to use in your writing. It's either you're going to use the qualitative method, the quantitative method, or the mixed method, which is the combination of both quali and the quanti. So also in the third chapter of the thesis, you can find there the research design, the research locale, on the research respondents, along with the research instrument that the researcher used, the data gathering procedure, and the statistical treatment. Now we are down to the last topic, titled the research study and the thesis and dissertation guidelines. So first, we have the title hearing. So along the title hearing is having the topic or the concept hearing. So you should prepare the following. We have the title, the rationale, statement of the problem, methodology of the list of references with referred journals for each title. So that is how, or those are the things that you're going to prepare along with the topic of your concept hearing. Next, written appointment of advisor. So in here, you're free to choose your advisor with desired expertise and specialization. So advisor conforms by affixing the signature and accepts supervising the advisee. Remember that only PhDs and MA degree holder are able to be called the advisor. However, MS or MA cannot advise EDD or PhD dissertations. Next, consult with the advisor. So in here, all the communications of the candidate should always have the endorsement of the notation of the advisor or his or her advisor. So if the proponent wishes to change the advisor, he or she must formally inform the current advisor. Change is permitted if strong reason is evident. Only upon the approval of the dean that changes may occur. Next, the thesis proposal. We are now done with the title hearing. Now we are now down to the thesis proposal. So during the thesis proposal, the completion of application and endorsement form for proposal hearing is a must. So what you are going to do is that the advisor must formally endorse her advisee to the dean. Next, an endorsement letter of the advisor must be enclosed along with the endorsement. Third, after the dean approves the endorsement letter, the proponent or the candidate must fill up the application form. Next, written appointment of panel members. It also goes along with the proposal hearing, the compliance of the panel members' suggestions and recommendations. So in here, after the proposal hearing, you are going to go back to the feedbacks and the comments of the panel members to your study or your concept or your title. Next, the implementation proper, the manuscript preparation, the subject manuscript to plagiarism and grammar checker. So now we are now down with the guidelines in crafting your thesis or your dissertation. Now we are down with the oral defense. So for the oral defense, there must be a completion of application and endorsement form of oral defense. Next, written appointment of panel members for the oral defense or the examination. So the final one, the final editing or the final touches along with the feedbacks and the comments of the board or the panelists, and the final editing which comes with the plagiarism checker and the grammar detection clearance. So after that, after all that things, the submission of hardbound research of thesis and dissertation comes with. And that's it. That's my takeaway. Thank you so much for bearing with me, for staying with me. And don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much. Once again, I am Samantha Joyce A, Acebido, MAELT Student at Surigao del Sur State University. So thank you so much. Wishing everyone to stay safe and be healthy always and always. Thank you and goodbye.